knows at least one person that played with Barbies or still plays with Barbies. For girls, you might have been the one playing with Barbies in your younger days, and the boys, you might have been the one stealing your sister's Barbie cars and Barbie airplanes and everything Barbie to go play with your imaginary adventures. Barbie's actually been around for more than 50 years, closer to 60 years. She's gained a permanent place in America's time capsule, and for many of us here, she also gained a place in many of our homes. Ruth and Elliot actually started Mattel in 1945, and about 10 years later, Ruth created Barbie Millicent Roberts, which we all now know as Barbie. She first debuted at a toy fair in New York in 1959. And everybody liked her because she wasn't the traditional baby doll, she wasn't the traditional infant doll. She was a woman doll, a teenage doll. As we all know, it's not only Barbie that Mattel makes. Later, Ken came along, Barbie's boyfriend, 1961, and then Midge came along, and then Barbie's younger sister, which Midge and Barbie used to babysit, came along. Because many people wanted Barbie to have a family, but Mattel wanted to keep her as an individual teenage girl. As time became more accepting of other cultures, Mattel also started creating multicultural dolls such as African American, Hispanic, and Asian dolls. Barbie actually, when we look back at her, we can actually learn a lot about what was going on in different time periods. For example, when she was created in 1959, her style imitated that of Jackie Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's wife. She had the pearls, the elegance. And as the British invasion came along with the Beatles and all the British influences, the twist and turn Barbie came along so that girls could play pretend and dance with the Barbie. Her waist actually turns. In 1971 was the whole hallucinogens after Woodstock happened, all the flower power as we can call it now. The live action Barbie came out, and this was the hippie Barbie. Also that came out, and we still have today, that's continued with Mattel, is the Malibu Barbie. The whole idea came out that California was a wonderful place, and also because of the female empowerment movement, Mattel started creating other careers and other job choices for women. She actually came out with the Barbie Corvette. So that was fun. And in 1980s, we can totally tell this was the MTV debut era, in which girls started wearing everything bold. The scrunchies, the leggings, every color was just out there. Also, what Mattel did in this time was more women started going out into the workforce, more independence for women. So Mattel also started creating play sets for the Barbies in the workplace, in the office, many more careers. Also, I think the Olympics happened in this time. And in 1992, as we can look back, this was the hair time. The bigger the hair, the better. And that's pretty much what that was also with MTV. This was also the hip hop era, and we can see this when we look back at the Barbie styles. The overalls, the hats, the colorful hair, it was just hip hop when girls started wearing things that boys usually wear, but with a more feminine touch. In 2004, we can see a more diverse selection of Barbie styles because women were just becoming much more diverse, much more able to choose what they want to do. This was a time of denim and jewels, more independence. And in 2010, we take a whole movement into technology, and we can see this with the computer engineer Barbie and the news anchor Barbie. Girls actually got the choice at this time to go online because everything is online now, and we can see this here. Girls actually chose what career they wanted Barbie to have next so that Mattel can create it. And that's what we can see here. Also, one thing that Barbie affects, though, It not only shows us how times have changed, it not only shows us how times have changed, but Barbie actually affects affects girls psychologically because it has such a big impact in our culture today. An experiment conducted by members of the American Psychology Association proves that Barbie's image can cause self-esteem issues with girls and can later contribute to eating disorders. 99% of girls 3 to 10 years old own a Barbie. That's almost 100%, and it's a big issue when girls are affected this way, because Barbie's image cannot be attained naturally. It's just unattainable. Her waist in reality would actually be 39% smaller than an average anorexic woman, and her body weight would be so low that she wouldn't even have a menstrual period. That's how unnatural her body really is. And this is actually a big issue because a big part of a child's life is play, and they actually learn through socialization, and at a young age is when they start forming ideals of beauty, concepts of what's good and bad, what's pretty, what's not, and so it's a big deal. They start internalizing concepts that way. So as we can see, Barbie actually is a big part of American culture. One thing that girls can do with Barbie is they can make believe and actually start realizing that, hey, if a doll can do something and have a career and change and be independent, I can too. So they can start pretending that way. But a big thing is that parents and guardians should also keep a careful watch over what their daughters are playing with, because something so simple as just playing with a doll can actually lead to something even bigger, such as self-esteem issues. And that's Barbie in American culture.